Hi, my name is Aaliyah, and regarding this week's question, I am personally semi against standing your ground rules that we have placed today in America. In short, I am personally against it because although it sounds nice, as in, oh, you can defend yourself in certain situations and conflicts, however, I personally believe it brings more bad than good to society. As in, I feel if people are aware that ground, they have the stand your ground law, they are, they have a switch in their head where they are allowed to engage in violent activities, whereas if the rule wasn't there, then there would be a line in their head that they would not be able to cross. As in, not that I'm saying it encourages people to engage in more violent, deadlier um, acts and altercations, but I feel like it does encourage people to take a route where it does not need to happen. But by that, um, but going off of that, I believe in the retreat rule, as in, I do believe that people should try to safely move away from the danger rather than using force. And it's simply because I strongly believe human life should be preserved at all costs, both the victims and the aggressors. I believe every human life has value. Uh, and it's hard saying that as like the aggressors should like have value in their life, as in the like comparing it to the Truman Doctrine, people don't have to suffer the indignity of the retreat, of having to go back. However, sometimes we do have to like swallow stuff we don't want to, as in like taking a safe route when you know the person that is assaulting you in any way, they deserve what they get. But just using the Trayvon Martin case and the George Zimmerman case from this week's articles, Trayvon Martin, he was just walking down the street where George Zimmerman, he saw him suspicious and they got an altercation where it ended up Trayvon Martin lifeless. And personally, I believe that George Zimmerman would not have engaged in, I feel like that would not have resulted in someone's life being taken if the stand your ground laws weren't in place, because they would have more of a thought that they would be in more consequence. And if anything, I feel that there is an unequal application of self-defense laws, as in as in just in the different, what's it call it? They're used as in the African Americans are gonna get locked up way more than Caucasian people, and because I feel that stand your ground laws are really up to interpretation, as in like what deems something as what deems a act to be reasonable. But I feel that Zimmerman could have been a free man if it weren't for the media, and I feel like he should not have been a free man whether there is media or not, because I feel that Trayvon was, although he looked suspicious, I feel that using the retreat rule, Zimmerman calling the police should have been enough. But just using the book, what Stentz says, Stentz brings up domestic violence, and this really like got me thinking about like retreat rule or something. But a quote that really stuck out to me was, and abusers were treated more generously than those they abused. an abusive husband who killed his armed wife could more easily show that he was responding to a threat of imminent harm than a victim who killed her abuser between beatings. So by that, like, that just goes back to the point where I feel that these stand your ground laws are being unequally applied to different in different cases, as in like between woman and man, African American and Caucasian. So I believe that using the book and the course materials, that we should not have the stand your case laws. And again, that's hard saying, stand your ground laws, but that is hard to say. However, I believe not everyone's going to be happy, and I would rather have more lives than lost lives. But thank you for listening.